The Commons focuses on bringing up and highlighting artists that are from the Triangle area. As a professional dancer, choreographer, sometimes resources or platforms aren't available for you unless you're part of a large company or you're backed by these huge funders. So to have an opportunity to say, hey, you can show up authentically in your art is rare, especially for someone who, is from Durham. That's my hometown.
In this iteration of the Commons, which was the Common Southern Futures, we're talking about futures of the South, so that's even more important to have people who are of and from the South, whose artistry and whose lived experiences have been fed by local communities and relationships. The original seed of this iteration of the Commons was a performance that was done by Culture Mill. Culture Mill has a residency with Carolina Performing Arts, with this charge of continuing to highlight local arts. I was a graduate student and I attended one of Culture Mill's performances, their Eclipse performance, which Otto was in. It was as much performance as it was a community or public care practice and ritual, a way of being with the history and legacies of place to highlight erased histories of the local area, legacies of Black builders within Chapel Hill, from the folks who laid the original bricks of the university to their descendants. The emotional space that they kind of conjured just resonated with me on such a deep level that I was like, how do I meet the creators of the Eclipse? And then they invited me to participate as kind of a writer in residence. And then we kind of came together and they kind of just handed over that process for us as a collective of 6 artists to steer. The Commons Southern Futures Festival, which was the 2024 iteration of the Commons, was essentially a procession of performances, workshops, and kind of community festive experiences that happened over a 3-day time period.
The Friday performance seamlessly blended poetry, dance, music, theater, and took the audience through this really great story of showcasing who each of the curators were. And it's almost like, hello, this is us, welcome to the festival.
We were thinking as we were planning the festival of like, what spaces can we bring people to and how can their time there be also connected to the history of this town. I think there have been kind of fissures and damaged relationships and a lot of harm between the university and particularly local Black community. How do you repair relationships through partnership? Now all these 6 artists who have collaborated with CPA for the Commons have people that they know who work for Carolina Performing Arts, and how can these relationships have lives beyond the thing that we're actually coming together to make? There's an immense gratitude that I have because, as a military kid who moved around my whole life, I found like belonging community for the first time.
We're hoping that we've created a great model of what it means to highlight Black art and how to support artists in a non-transactional way, to intersect local artists, institutions, and community.